Hey guys, it's Mullah Maker here. Just wanted to go over a few charts with you guys and show you my charting process. The first one we're going to look at is HRB. I start at the weekly time frame and I draw my SNR lines here. I'm going to start with a support line down here. And then we got another support right here. We got a resistance right here, and we got another one right there. Then I go into the daily time frame and I see if there's any other levels on the shorter time frame that we missed. There is one resistance right here. Okay, so we got those levels sorted out. I look at other indicators to see if there's anything we can see on those. We can see this we're close to being oversold here. We got a bullish crossover on the MACD. It's holding this 1525 area pretty well. So I'm pretty confident in picking up a call here with a stop loss right under that support level. Looking for a pushback over 16 and then we can move up to 17. I'd give this maybe 2 weeks to play out. If it doesn't, then I would move on to another trade. That's pretty much it. And then you just have to pick the strikes that have the best open interest and the most volume that you can find. Sometimes you might have to go further out, but most of the time you'll find one that's 1 or 2 standard deviations from the current price. The next one is IQ, and you can see here this went pretty oversold down here. We got another bullish crossover about to happen over here. I do the same thing. I start weekly. And I put my support levels. One there. And let's get some resistance levels here. We got one there. Another one there. And one more there. You can look at the daily and you'll see that these lines up pretty well with the daily. This was support, it's now turned into resistance. It's holding here pretty well. I would say we get another support, or my stop loss would be down here. That would be my stop loss for going long on this. I believe we already picked up June calls on this, June 20 strike calls. Pretty doable. This was $28 a month ago, so that's more than enough time for this to bounce back up. Once it gets over $18, we can see a push to $20. And you can see it's starting to come back up here. So this is a pretty good one to just go long, give it a couple months and let it play out. Another one is Ride. This one here, we can, since the weekly will not help us that much, this was a new IPO. I'll mostly look on the daily for this one. And let me start with the support lines. We got one right here. We got another one right here. got one more here. Now this has turned into a resistance, so I'll change the color on that one. We got some resistance levels up here. Can go with one there. You got another one here. And then you got a couple more up here. You can go with that one. Now this one here, you can see it was on downtrend for about 2 weeks. I'll draw a trend line here. You can have it there, or you can have it there. I'll go with that one. Let's go on the 4-hour time frame. You can see it broke this downtrend here, and then it came back down, tested this support, and it bounced pretty hard, almost a $4 bounce here. It's coming back to another support level. If this holds, it can push back up to 22, 24 area again. For this one here, I would pick up calls around this support with a stop at $18. That way you limit your downside, because once it breaks $18, this can go back down to 14, 15 area. With a play like this, I would say give it maybe a month, 2 weeks if you think this bounces quickly. But the longer you give yourself, the more chances you have of this turning around. This is another one we picked up, and I think this has already played out. I'll start with the daily, or I can even start with the weekly, and see what lines we get here. I'll pull one down here. And we got another one right here. We got resistance levels. There's one here. Can have one resistance there. And then once we go to the daily, we see if those lines hold up. You can see it held up here, and it bounced off right here, bounced off here, bounced off here, and we can have another one, I'd say somewhere here. Yeah, we can have it maybe here. Okay, so once we got those lines figured out, you can see it comes down to about $75, bounces back up to 90, comes down to 75, bounces back up, and it's at 75 again. And you can see we're getting, on the daily, we're getting a crossover. This is close to being oversold. You can go long on this with a stop loss at just under this support. So I give it 74.90, maybe 74.80. That gives you enough room for this to come and retest this support. But I think this is now reversing, and it's going to be on an upward push to at least 84. And you can take some off there. The next one is Cree. This one here, it's not an oversold play. This is a breakout play. And let's draw our lines. We got support here at 90. Another support here, and keep it here. And one more here. There's not really much resistance on this one. Maybe one here that it failed to close over. But once this breaks through that, you can see that there's no other resistances, so this will break out. You could pick up a position here with the stop at 104. Downside is not that much, so you'd get out with maybe a 20% stop. But this could be taking off. This is a good entry place. You can see we're getting a crossover. It's not overbought, so this is a good one to go long in. Another one is RCL. And I'll look at the 4-hour time frame for this one because I'm seeing sort of a rounding bottom here, and it could be bouncing. But let me start with the daily to draw our lines. Support there. Another support there, and then we got a few resistance here. We got one here. Got another one there. Another one there. And then the one up here. And then we'll go on the 4-hour, and we can see this tested the support at 68.65. It bounced back up, and it's at 74 now. This one here, there's a few resistances to the upside, but I think this can push back to 80, 85 in the next 2 weeks or so. My stop on this one would be just under this support, so I'd say 71.60. Give it room in case it comes back down. And you can see we got a crossover over there, and it went into oversold and it bounced back up. The next one is Micron. This one here, you can see without me even drawing any lines, it broke through the all-time resistance here, and it's now breaking out. Now this could be a run-up due to the ER coming up next Thursday, but we can capitalize on that with a weekly play. Let me draw my resistance right here, which is now going to turn into a support level. And I'll change that. We got another support down here. And we can also have another support right here. This one, due to the ER run up next week, I wouldn't play past that ER. I would get out before. So I'm looking at just a weekly for January 8th, an 80 strike, which should be reachable if we get that run up. And the last one I'm going to look at today is CSX. You can see here there's a crossover coming over. There's a bearish divergence is diminishing, and it's been in a tight pattern here for about a month or so. You can see this is, once I expanded, this is a flag, and I'm gonna go with the trend line. and you can see that it's a bull flag forming. It had a huge run up here and it's now just consolidating sideways. This one I long on the break of this upward trend line here. Once we break that with volume, we can go long on this one and look for 100, 105 in a couple weeks. This should be doable. I do like that we got volume here on the last day, even though it was a holiday week. So keep this on watch for the next 2 weeks and see if we break out. All right, guys. So that's it from today. I will be doing more videos on other chart patterns and show you guys how I do my charting.